Welcome. You're with the Nasty Pastor, and I'm back with another reading from out of Exodus. Yeah, Exodus, the departure. You know what I mean? Someone that saw and was fed up with the most unrighteous things that was going on in my culture. You feel what I'm saying? I salute the man. I respect the man. You feel what I'm saying? I'd be a hypocrite if I say Kim might speak up and talk, but I don't want nobody else to speak up. Come on, I'd be a hypocrite, right? Wouldn't I be a hypocrite? Okay then, you know what I mean? Acknowledge perfection, success, whether it's in your culture or not. You feel me? Whether it's in your culture or not, acknowledge it. Anyway, like I said, you with the Nasty Pastor. This is another read from Exodus, and if I'm correct, we're on chapter 16. Let's dive in. Let's get some education, some direction. Let's roll. Chapter 16, the title is Bread from Heaven. And they journeyed from Elim, and all the congregation of the children of Israel came to the wilderness of Sin, which is between Elim and Sinai, on the 15th day of the second month after they departed from the land of Egypt. Come on, the 15th day of the second month. The second month is February, right? I just ran across some stuff online where it says that the Kemites, we're responsible for inventing Valentine's Day. You feel what I'm saying? And the Romans came later and took it into their culture. You feel what I'm saying? So I say this to you once again, you know what I mean? It was a lot of love that was done up in Kemet, but it was a lot of hate also drove us to a civilization that explains if you're not capable of listening, then you're not capable of sitting on the throne and being the voice to your people. Verse 2. Then the whole congregation of the children of Israel complained against Moses and Aaron in the wilderness. And the children of Israel said to them, "Oh, that we had died by the hand of the Lord in the land of Egypt, when we sat by the pots of meat and when we ate bread to the full. For you have brought us out into this wilderness to kill this whole assembly with hunger." So that means when they parted the Red Sea, that was around Valentine's Day, right? Come on now, let's roll. Cause this after, you know what I mean? This is after them getting up out of Egypt. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Behold, I will rain bread from heaven for you, and the people shall go out and gather a certain quota every day, that I may test them whether they will walk in my law or not. And it shall be on the 6th day that they shall prepare what they bring in, and it shall be twice as much as they gather daily." Then Moses and Aaron said to all the children of Israel, "At evening you shall know that the Lord has brought you out of the land of Egypt, and in the morning you shall see the glory of the Lord, for he hears your complaints against the Lord. But what are we that you complain against us?" Also Moses said, "This shall be seen when the Lord gives you meat to eat in the evening, and in the morning bread to the full. For the Lord hears your complaints which you make against him, and what are we? Your complaints are not against us, but against the Lord." Then Moses spoke to Aaron, "Say to all the congregation of the children of Israel, come near before the Lord, for he has heard your complaints." Now it came to pass, as Aaron spoke to the whole congregation of the children of Israel, that they looked toward the wilderness, and behold, the glory of the Lord appeared in the cloud. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "I have heard the complaints of the children of Israel. Speak to them, saying, At twilight you shall eat meat, and in the morning you shall be filled with bread, and you shall know that I am the Lord your God." So it was that quails came up at the evening and covered the camp, and in the morning the dew lay all around the camp. And when the layer of dew lifted, there on the surface of the wilderness was a small round substance, as fine as frost on the ground. So when the children of Israel saw it, they said to one another, "What is it?" For they did not know what it was. And Moses said to them, "This is the bread which the Lord has given you to eat. This is the thing which the Lord has commanded. Let every man gather it according to each one's need, one omer for each person. According to the number of persons, let every man take for those who are in his tent." Then the children of Israel did so and gathered some more, some less. So when they measured it by omers, he who gathered much had nothing left over, and he who gathered little had no lack. Every man had gathered according to each one's need. And Moses said, "Let no one leave any of it till morning." Notwithstanding, they did not heed Moses, but some of them left part of it until morning, and it bred worms and stank. And Moses was angry with them. So they gathered in every morning, every man according to his need, and when the sun became hot, it melted. And so it was on the 6th day that they gathered twice as much bread to omers for each one. And all the rulers of the congregation came and told Moses. Then he said to them, "This is what the Lord has said. Tomorrow is a Sabbath, rest, a holy Sabbath to the Lord. Bake what you will, bake today, and boil what you will, boil. And lay up for yourselves all that remains to be kept until morning." So they laid it up till morning, as Moses commanded, and it did not stink, nor were there any worms in it. Come on now. You get what just happened. You get my understanding of this is that there are some things being spoken, some commandments being spoken, but they're not being followed out. And they're not being followed out because things are not being explained well. You get it. If you don't tell them what to do with the bread, then they left the bread right there to stinking mold, right? But when you told them what to do, it came out to be better, right? Cool. And so it was on the 6th day that they gathered twice as much bread to omers for each one, and all the rulers of the congregation came and told Moses. Then he said to them, "This is what the Lord has said. Tomorrow is the Sabbath, rest a holy Sabbath to the Lord. Bake what you will bake today. Boil what you will boil, and lay up for yourselves all that remains to be kept until morning." So they laid it up till morning as Moses commanded, and it did not stink, nor were there any worms in it. Then Moses says, "Eat that today, for today is a Sabbath to the Lord. Today you will not find it in the field. 6 days you should gather it, but on the 7th day, the Sabbath, there will be none." Now it happened that some of the people went out on the 7th day to gather, but they found none. And the Lord said to Moses, "How long do you refuse to keep my commandments and my laws? See, for the Lord has given you the Sabbath. Therefore he gives you on the 6th day bread for 2 days. Let every man remain in his place. Let no man go out of his place on the 7th day." So the people rested on the 7th day. And the house of Israel called this name manna. And it was like white coriander seed, and the taste of it was like wafers made with honey. Then Moses said, "This is the thing which the Lord has commanded. Fill an omer with it to be kept for your generations, that they may see the bread with which I fed you in the wilderness when I brought you out of the land of Egypt." And Moses said to Aaron, "Take a pot and put an omer of manna in it and lay it up before the Lord to be kept for your generations, as the Lord commanded Moses." So Aaron laid it up before the testimony to be kept. And the children of Israel ate manna 40 years until they came to an inhabited land. They ate manna until they came to the border of the land of Canaan. Now an omer is 1/10 of an ephah. That's the end of this chapter reading. And I want to say this, you know what the main idea I get out of this chapter right here? When you think about their bondage, these Jews' bondage, I don't think they really prepared themselves for the next day, because what were they really expecting? A day off? from slavery? No, that ain't what they was expecting. They was expecting to be taken home to whom they pray to. You feel what I'm saying? They wasn't going to kill themselves, but they rather had been taken home and out the misery and out the struggle that they have been put in. So, I say this to you once again. You see how Moses came along and he really explained what's going on? Okay, Saturday, what you have picked up Monday through Friday, that's enough to keep you going. But see, Sunday, which is the Sabbath day, Sunday's supposed to be the Sabbath, you know what I mean? What you pick up on this, you're not going to be able to pick no bread up on the Sabbath. So what's going to be there Saturday is double the amount you have always picked up Monday through Friday. So what are you doing? Preparing you're training your people, your congregation, I said family, I said congregation, to prepare themselves for the next day, because the next day will be granted, right? Right? Cool. Look, you've been with the Nasty Pastor. There's been another chapter reading from out of Exodus, and I just say this to you again, you know what I mean? Unless you're sick, unless there's an expiration date you really know about, you're probably going to wake up the next day. 9 times out of 10, that's probably a 1% chance that you're not going to wake up, but there's a 9% chance that you are. And if I need to say it better, I'll say it this way. There is a 99% chance you're going to wake up the next day. There's a 1% chance that you may not. Anyway, like I said, you've been with the Nasty Pastor. It's been another chapter reading from out of Exodus. I love you, and I'm out.